creative projects there. But I think there was something about being in Bellingham, Washington that was, it's hard to replicate. It was just like this beautiful town right on the water, access to the mountains, it rained all the time. But you ended up kind of loving the moisture and the moss. And so I don't really have anything interesting to say, but I talked anyway. Thank you. Hi.
Hi. I find it funny you call us judgmental when you judge me for watching Supernatural in 2 weeks, but anyway, my question is...
Wait, what do you mean?
You called me out last year for watching Supernatural in 2 weeks.
So, right, so that's not, you know that's not possible, right?
But it is.
Did you go into some sort of like hallucinatory state where you thought maybe only 2 weeks had elapsed, but really you were in a coma for 3 months?
No.
2 weeks?
Yes.
360 hours of television?
Yes.
There's not that many hours. How many hours in 2 weeks?
Barely much.
Somebody has an iPhone? How many hours in 2 weeks?
336.
336?
Yeah.
Okay, so we just fact checked you.
2 weeks in a day.
2 weeks, okay, 15 days. How?
42 minutes? Yeah.
I know they're 42 minutes, okay. So how many hours, somebody has an iPhone, how many hours of television is that? Obviously commercial free, right?
Yes.
Okay, so 304?
204.
It's only 204 hours of...
Possible in 2 weeks.
Wait a minute, how many episodes of Supernatural were there? 327?
Yeah.
Okay, so my original stat was a
It
little
makes
off.
sense. Anyway, my question is...
Don't gloss over this.
You already yelled at me!
I am going, first of all, I'm going to express a little contrition here. I'm sorry for questioning you. It is possible. You're still crazy.
Never said I wasn't.
But I humbly admit that it is possible to watch. That has to cause lasting damage, though. You're saying no, but of
I've been
course.
watching the show for 15 years, so like...
Well, okay, so that is that long-term damage is also. What's that?
It's my comfort show.
It's your comfort show.
Yes.
Were you sleeping at all when you were watching? During
No.
that? You were sleeping a little bit.
Yeah, like I got
Okay.
like 6 hours.
All right, so we got to that. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, my question is, if you could create an alcoholic beverage for Castiel and Harvey Dent, what would they be and what would you name them?
Well, Harvey Dent would drink something in the whiskey family.
Okay.
Because he's
What would you mix with it?
he would drink like he would drink a very fine Scotch whiskey with electrum in it, which is an elixir for eternal life.
Yes.
And Castiel would drink, like a Long Island iced tea, but with a little bit of everything from the liquor store. So he would drink it, and he would drink it in a gallon container. When we had this, when Dean was giving Cass some tips on how to get laid, and they were at a bar, there was a scene where they had beer. So this was the first time that Cass had had an alcoholic drink, to my knowledge. And so we were sitting there filming in this little bar, and it was an actual dive bar. And they poured us pints of beer. And I thought it'd be funny if Castiel just chugged it. So we did one take, I chugged the beer in the take. We did another take, chugged the beer in the take. And then I was like, whoo, a lot of beer. Okay. And then we did a little bit of adjustment on the cameras and went into the wine shot and did a take. And I drank the whole thing, and the director was like, "Oh, Misha, that was hilarious. That's great with the drinking the beer. Do that again on the next take." And rookie actor that I was, I didn't realize that the camera was not on me for the first 2 pints. And then we had to adjust the cameras again and go into my close-ups. Now we really had to drink a beer. It was
How many
tough.
ounces of beer did you drink that day?
I drank the maximum number that could be held in a human male stomach. But I did feel like throwing up.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Hello, my name's Megan. My question is, what's your,
You asked me, you're like, oh my God, that microphone is so close. What do I do? But you can always just take one little step back. You don't have to go into a limbo position. It'd be funny if you just keep bringing it closer and closer, no matter how much she moves back, until she's pinned up against the wall. Sorry.
now I'm not nervous, so thank you.
You're welcome.
What is your current favorite hobby?
My current favorite hobby? Man, I don't know, but I've been having a lot of fun lately hobbying. I think that's a ridiculous word, honestly. Hobby like demeans whatever activity it is that you're doing because it means it's frivolous. But I have been doing a lot of frivolous shit. And, I found this piece of amber in a stream with my kids, and I decided I wanted to make it into a pendant because it has like a little seed in it. And somehow that feels like poignant to me. So I decided I wanted to make it into a pendant. And I found a little jewelry making shop nearby. And a couple days ago, I spent the day in this jewelry making shop. And it was so cool. It was just so awesome. This guy was just like showing me how to use all these tools and talking about the different materials and I have with me here in my hotel some wax that I'm molding to do some casting that'll become this little thing. So that's one thing. And then a couple days before that, I was in a woodworking shop trying to make chess pieces for my son, although it's a secret, I just realized.
He doesn't want you.
Anyway, so I've been trying to do more stuff with my hands. I really like spending time actually making things from time to time. And it, for some reason, feels like that happy place for me. So I have been doing some jewelry making, and I've been doing some woodworking of late. And I also promised some of the folks here working at Creation that I would mend their clothing, because I brought some sewing needles. So I will also be doing some sewing in the green room to prove a point.
Hi, Misha. My name is Greta.
Hi, Greta.
I was wondering, if people came with a warning label, what do you think yours would be and what would Cass would be?
My warning label would be do not follow. It may sound like a good idea, but it's not. I used to have like a group of friends that we would get together and go for runs, and we would take turns, like there were 5 of us, and we would take turns charting the course for the run. And everybody would be like, when it was my turn to like pick the route for the run, everybody would be like, because invariably it would be like, there would come a time during the run where I'd say, sorry everybody, I thought this trail went through. I think it's probably going to save us a lot of time if we go over the barbed wire fence. Or if we just take our shoes off, we can get through this swamp, you know, that kind of thing. So, yeah. Jared thinks my memoir's title, actually, I think it's a really great idea, and it probably does have to be this. Jared's idea for my memoir is a good idea, but then there's small font in between words. So it will, if you look closely, it will read, it seemed like a good idea at the time. And I think that probably is my warning label. And then Cass's warning label is caution, will smite when angry. When provoked. Thank you.
Thank you.
What's your warning label?
Scatterbrain. We'll start one task and start 3 others at the same time and finish none of them.
That resonated over here. Yes. Power, not finisher. Yes, I never finish anything. Yeah. Great response. Love that. You may have a soulmate over here. Hi.
Hi, Misha. My name's Ashley, and I watch Gotham Nights with a group of friends and I through a Google Meet every Tuesday.
Really? How sophisticated? How high tech?
And we noticed that we've gotten to see Harvey Dent wake up on his right side twice, which is his dark side. And it made us wonder, what side do you sleep on, or do you sleep on your back?
Very interesting question. A bit personal, wouldn't you say?
Come on, Iris, find what you got.
Chris Schmucky recently told me how he sleeps. And he said he sleeps on his stomach. And I was like, you're a fucking animal? What are you talking? Sleep on your stomach? What are you, a baby? Don't correct me. I sleep, I mostly sleep. I think I go both ways. So if I say that, then I get in trouble. So I have to be very careful. Someone is just to get me is gonna like just out of context that one little phrase and send it to just Jared. And be like, once again, I had this. Was it last year? I think it was last year in New Jersey. I had an unfortunate slip of the tongue, bad choice of words, idiotic moment, and that then precipitated. Are you aware of what I'm talking about? Okay, so it then precipitated this whole host of. Well, it precipitated somebody tweeting something that said Misha Collins has come out as bisexual. And I was like, oh, no, that's not what I meant, I'm sorry. And then that got picked up by The Advocate, and it got picked up by Newsweek, and every other news outlet online. And then I got a call from Warner Brothers, and they were like, hey, so, kind of a tricky situation here. And I was like, yeah, I'd like to somehow they said, well, is there a world in which you could just let it go? Now I have to pretend to be of a sexual orientation that I'm not for the rest of my life? Okay. It's just, it'll be better for the show if you... Fun times. Thanks. But I actually, I'm a mostly back sleeper. That's my primary position. I'm not a baby, no. I'm getting heckled for how I sleep. I saw this hilarious comedian, I can't remember her name, it was just a little segment on this. And she did this whole skit. It was all about, she went over to some friend's house and she walked upstairs and she said, which side of the bed, it was a couple, and she said, which side do you spawn to the couple? Which side of the bed is whose? And they were like, I don't know, whatever. We just go to bed, we sleep on whatever side. And she was like, what? What is wrong with you people? Are you animals? Great. Anyway, but then I also often will sleep on my right side. How about you?
Mostly on my side.
Which side?
Probably my left.
Probably. You're not sure, huh?
I talk to turn a lot before I go.
Yeah, I get that. Hi.
Hi, Misha. I'm Callie.
Hi, Callie.
I want to know, where do you get your confidence from?
Oh, drugs. Misha Collins comes out again. Admits to being addict. I think it. I think if you get up on stage in front of a large group of people with a microphone, then you have to either fake it or you get booed off the stage. So I went with faking it. Do you feel like a confident person?
I think I am, yeah.
Yeah. So where do you get it?
By accepting my humanity.
Oh. What about for those of us who are not you? It's tricky. That doesn't apply to everyone, right?
Well, accepting your flaws. Computers have flaws too.
Yeah, thank you for acknowledging that. I did hear a piece of wisdom once that I thought was really nice about acting, because actors often have struggle with anxiety. Stage fright is a very real thing. Even you get it in front of the camera, it can show up big time at auditions. And the bit of wisdom was, this is not about you. You're just in service of this project. You're in service of this art. So stop making it about you. And I thought, that was really brilliant. It doesn't work for me because I'm so full of myself, but I could imagine that being very effective for other people. And it is actually, I think, very true. Like if you feel like what you're doing is somehow in service to others rather than in service to your own ego or about puffing yourself up, then suddenly it becomes much easier. There was a point where, oh Jesus, fuck.
It actually came up.
I was actually saying something earnest.
I know, that's
and I
right.
very much do not want you hearing me talk like that.
Yeah, I know.
That is not.
Talking about yourself.
When I talk about myself, I stop being able to hear anything. It's tunnel vision, tunnel hearing. I just see this white glowing image of my own self hovering in front of me. It's amazing and quite transcendent.
Well, fortunately, Richard can't hear anything, so he missed the whole bit, so,
What?
yeah.
I'm sure it was meaningful. Did you finish your answer?
No, I'm not going to finish my answer.
You're in the middle of saying something meaningful.
Yes, I'm not going to do that in front of you.
We're like us even more than they already do.
Hey, Rob, back up. Stay back. We're not even here, dude. We're not even here. We're not even
Okay,
here.
now I have to visualize myself again.
There's the posters.
You're in a bright white light. Wearing a Speedo.
Okay, this is working for me. This is working.
You're shaved from head to toe. Go with it.
Keep going, Rich, I like it.
Works for me. You look like a Ken doll. In all the ways everybody's thinking you look like a Ken doll.
But really, finish your meaningful comment.
Yeah, go ahead. No, we're not even here. I'm sorry about that. Sorry about the Ken doll.
Starting now.
We're not even here. We're not here.
Go ahead.
I see you. You're right
We're
there.
not. No, we're not.
People have often said that the trick, like when you're on stage, is to picture the audience naked, right? That's a fallacy. It doesn't work. I've tried it a million times. I actually tried it when I first got out here. It was kind of, but if you do, this is genuinely very effective. Have you done any kind of meditation?
I have,
Yeah, so you understand this. If you do visualize yourself naked, it's very empowering.